Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I've been waiting for this one ever since last year. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my boom, it's my Son Goku Dragon Ball Z shirt. I guess technically it could be GT or maybe even Super, but I'm going to go with Z. If you don't know what Dragon Ball and Z and all this stuff is, extremely successful anime. It's been going since the 80s, started off with the original Dragon Ball series, really kicked it into high gear when it entered into the Z phase of the whole thing. That's really when, on a global scale, just everybody started to take note. And ever since then, it's just been a runaway success, just massively popular. They've extended past that into GT and movies and all kinds of stuff. It just keeps going. I think it firmly has the momentum where it's not going to be stopping anytime soon. And I'm happy about that. It's a cool series. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Again, why have I been waiting for this for basically a whole year? Well, folks, that's because it happens to be, boom, it's from Mountain Dew, but it's not just any Mountain Dew. It is their 2024 edition mystery flavor, Voodoo. I have been reviewing these since they came out, literally since the first year. And if you're unfamiliar with the Voodoo, these are a Halloween-themed mystery flavor that Mountain Dew has been doing for the past few years. And like I said, I've reviewed every single year. It's a new mystery flavor. And every single year I've gone over there and I've done my review of them. So this is the 2024 edition. I have not looked up any reviews or anything to see what flavor it might be. I'm going into this blind. We're going to give it a go. Because this is a Mountain Dew review, this is going to end up on my Mountain Dew Madness playlist, which is playlist just for Mountain Dew stuff. But let's get a... Can we get a thing for a thing? It looks like... Kind of like that. Ha! Let's give it a go. I'm a little bit late to the game on this one in that I've already seen a fair amount of people have gotten to review it, but, I just found it, so. That smells very familiar. Let's give it a go. The hell is that? It tastes familiar, but it's also kind of weird. And it also has sort of a shifting flavor, like it starts off one way and kind of finishes a little bit differently. Very sweet. Typically in the past, they tend to be based off of some sort of candy. Only problem I run into when I do these Voodoos is that usually they're based off of some sort of a fruit candy or something like that, which makes sense, obviously for the format. I don't really do fruit candies all that much, I'm just not a big... that kind of candy guy. I'm more of a chocolates kind of guy. I almost wonder if it's trying to be marshmallow flavor. I mean, there's been marshmallow flavored stuff. Rockstar did a marshmallow flavored energy drink. I reviewed it, by the way. I don't know. Part of me... But there's also kind of a slightly fruity element too. Because the initial hit of it is more sort of, it's sweet. It's not as sweet as some of the ones I've had in the past though, from the Voodoos. A little bit more subdued in the sweetness, but definitely sweet throughout. But then kind of there's this undercurrent of sort of a sort of fruitiness. And then at the very tail end, there's a very mild, almost tart kind of aspect to it. Like I was saying, it kind of starts a little bit different than it finishes. And it does taste somewhat familiar, but like nothing is jumping out at me. You know, that's the thing. It's like tastes somewhat familiar. I'm sure that I've had whatever the flavor is based off of, but it's not grabbing me, you know? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not it, but like I'm gonna go with something along the lines of marshmallow. Just because of how like marshmallow is a great flavor. I think most people would agree with that. But it's a surprisingly neutral flavor. Like it's sweet. It definitely has its own flavor, but it's not like a super jump out at you flavor. You know, it kind of works better with things and, you know, like as an accompaniment to stuff. It just kind of makes things, you know, that much better for being there. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Like there's a flavor to it. It's a sweet flavor. Definitely something I'm familiar with. But it's not a strong enough flavor. It's not like super tart or super sweet. So, but then the question becomes, okay, what about the, you know, again, the sort of slightly fruity aspect? I mean, look, I'm not going to go over there and tell you that I have a super duper palate like that one guy who works from the ice cream company. He's got like the golden spoon and I think his like tongue is insured for like $8 million or some shit. I'm not that guy, you know. All I can do is tell you my overall experience with it. So I'm probably not getting the flavor right. But again, I'm gonna say marshmallow for sake of what I'm saying. In terms of like just the overall experience, it's okay. the Voodoo's, in my personal opinion, have never been my favorite Mountain Dews. They've always been ones that I've found to be fun for the novelty, but not something that I grasp onto. Like, they're not ones that I'm typically going out and buying just for the sake of them. They're more for, like, shits and giggles because they exist as a holiday thing. But for what it is, it's okay. Like I said, it's sweet. A tiny bit of fruitiness to it, kinda. You know, it's not bad. I'll say this, I do find it to be a little bit more drinkable than some of the other Voodoos that I've had, because like some of them just didn't play to my palate very well. This one, a little bit more, but I think it just, I don't know, the idea of a candy soda sounds great on paper, but rarely is it implemented that well. Mountain Dew does it as well as anybody, but two questions have to be asked though. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Maybe out of morbid curiosity, blah ha ha ha, and sure. I think that, a little bit stuffy in the car. I think that for myself personally, like I said, you know, this would not be a go-to Mountain Dew. None of the Voodoos have been. They're fine for what they are, but yeah, it's just not something I hugely gravitate towards. Even though I don't dislike it, it's just, yeah, there's a lot of other Mountain Dew flavors that I like a lot more than the Voodoos. But it's not bad for what it is. It's interesting if nothing else. So I could see, you know, I'm not going to get it again anytime soon, but, you know, maybe if in a month or so time, you know, maybe I'll pick up a 12-pack or something like that, you know, just to have in the house. If I'm recommending it, though, I think that it works in the same concept that all the Voodoos have worked, in that it's, you know, it's a fun little novelty thing for the Halloween season. Even though, like I said, they've never been my personal favorites, I do love that Mountain Dew does them. I think they're really cool. I love, you know, like, seasonal blends and, you know, fun little treat ideas like that. I think that's great. And I think that Mountain Dew works perfectly well in that regard. So, what with it being a limited time thing, get out there and try it, you know? I don't think it'll be, I don't want to say anybody's, I'm sure it'll probably be somebody's. I don't think it's going to be most people's favorite Mountain Dew, but I think that it's also fairly inoffensive. It's kind of fun for what it is. You know, it's a mystery flavor, so you get the joy of trying to figure it out. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go there and have a truly spooky-tastic rest of your life, I guess. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. Oh, that breeze is wonderful. It is, however, always appreciated, but what you do if can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your opinion on the VOOs? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you wish that they would go away forever? Or do you think that they should be an all year round kind of deal? I have to admit, I was kind of hoping, because like I said, they bring it around for like the spooky season. I have to admit, I was hoping that they would bring back Pitch Black. So far they haven't, but we'll see. We'll see. I feel like at least for October, we should have Pitch Black back. It's my personal favorite dude. But what's your personal favorite dude? Let me know in the comments. I'd be interested. But anyway,